Okay. Yeah. Question for the three of you. How did you get involved in voiceovers and what inspired you?
Well, I've been inspired by voiceover work specifically in film and video games. And I mean, before I could walk, I was watching movies and animated films, and I had a Nintendo when everyone else was playing sports. So I was existing in Fantasyland as immediately as I could. And I moved out to Los Angeles about 6 years ago. And though I had pursued acting in so many ways creatively, I never did as a career until I moved out here, and found myself very fortunate to be able to live in some of these worlds.
Yeah, I started in acting really little. I started in theater. I got my equity card when I was about 10. And then I went to college for it, and then I went to grad school for it, moved out to Los Angeles, did some on-camera for a couple of years, and then actively pursued voiceover because I was also kind of, I was into that nerd stuff when I was younger, and still am. And once I started finding a relative amount of success in that, the rest of it just sort of went to the wayside. And for the past, 14 years or so, I've been doing voiceover as my full-time gig, and here we are. Here we are for a movie, an animated film that we all get to be in together. How exciting. David, how did you get your start? You've never gotten this question before in your entire career. How did it go?
Oh, my story is similar to both of you. I found acting in middle school, and then, did musical theater and theater through high school. And then I went to college for it. Then I moved to New York, and then I went to grad school for it as well. And really, I just wanted to be a part of telling a story in some way was my inspiration. That's what I've kind of distilled it down to at this point. And then as a way to, have more opportunities acting, I thought, well, let me see what this voiceover thing is about. I was also felt like, in VO, I wasn't limited by, physicality or type that way. And I kind of started with some commercial VO and stuff like that, and then landed in some anime and have been doing it ever since. So yeah, that's kind of my journey to where we are at this moment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
These pauses are fun. Yeah. Just a masterclass in human experience, watching everybody wait.
It's like the documentary.
They're just so polite,
It's like the documentary pause, where they stay on the subject a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm gonna get eaten by an alligator at any second.
Oh, that explains the alligator in my room.
Hi.
I knew it. Hello.
So, question: if you had a choice between growing up quirkless or growing up with a quirk only to have it suddenly ripped away from you, which would you choose? And this is for all three of you.
Oh,
I wasn't expecting the twist. I thought it was going to be just quirk or no quirk, but that's brutal.
An easy. Everyone wants superpowers.
But to get it stripped away from you, that's brutal. I don't know.
I would choose to have it and have it stripped away, just because, at least I will have had it for a time. And
better to have loved and lost.
Who knows what lessons I will get from not only having it, but then losing it.
Yeah, lessons, that's cool. I would definitely be a criminal for sure and set myself up for later on down the road. Yeah, give me the powers so I can capitalize on them, and then later I won't care. I'll just be in the Bahamas kicking it. Yeah.
That's totally fair. I'm kind of torn between both answers. I definitely, I think it is, I think David's right though. It's better to have loved and lost and experienced it than not at all. Especially because, we already don't have quirks. So we know what this side is like.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
This quirkless human experience.
Or do we?
Is your quirk to be able to take off your glasses at will? That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
Subtle. It's subtle.
Not everyone can do it.
Acting is subtle,
You're right.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's up? How's it going?
Not too bad. Ryan, hello again.
Hello again, yes.
Good to see you. My
Pleasure.
question's for Robbie here. So Robbie, the previous movie, I've always been really intrigued with the movies because they've always just continued to deliver better and better villains. Johnny Yambosh's performance as 9 was spectacular. So I was instantly curious to know who was going to be the villain in this film and who would step into that role to fill those shoes. And no other than one of my favorite voice actors, and you, Robbie. So how was it, first off, by saying, welcome to the My Hero Academia family, but how was it stepping into that role and knowing that you had to fill these shoes? Because in order, and not just the shoes of Johnny and Bosch, but because for every good hero, there has to be a good villain, and there has to be a good person behind it.
Sure. Yeah, I think Johnny probably wears like a size 10 or so. I'm a size 12, so it's not going to fit no matter what. Listen, my job is to go in there and deliver the most authentic performance that I possibly can within the given circumstances of the film. Fortunately, this movie is really well written. I think the enemy that I play is multifaceted and complex, and I think he walks the thin line of being motivated by personal goals as well as having a evil ideology and machinations of world domination. It's a complex and interesting character.
Yeah.
Wait.
Time to fill his role.
It felt like it ended on such a smooth ending that it was like.
Did I get kicked out?
But
Am I back?
It like paused, but right at a perfect spot.
Good, I'm done.
It felt like a complete thought.
Perfect. I'm glad. Thanks, Internet. That's all I had to say. I don't know where I ended, so I'm sure I listened. Good. We did it together. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope the fans enjoy it. I know the villains. I know My Hero's got a great rogues gallery, and I'm honored to be a part of it for this film, for sure.
Dope.
Did like the greatest mic drop ever. He was just like, I'm done.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
The internet did it for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his quirk. You guys didn't ask him. My question's for David. So you've been bringing Todoroki to life for like 6 years now. And I mean, he's come such a long way as a character in so many different ways, and you can see that through the series and the film. What's that like, being able to play a character for that long? Because a lot of animes get a season and then we beg them for more and never get it.
Right. I mean, the short answer is it's an absolute gift, as to be able to live with a character for that amount of time. Is a tough thing to be a part of. I mean, like, it doesn't happen very often, in any performing medium. So it's been an absolute gift, and it's been an honor to be a part of voicing a character that there is such a complexity to. I mean, one of the things that I think is amazing about this universe in general is that all of the characters are complex in their own ways. Villains, heroes in training, whatever it is, there's a real human element to all of them. There's nothing is really black or white. They live in that sort of human gray area. With Shoto specifically, the challenge of those first 2 seasons of here's a guy who's had some trauma and there's so much bubbling underneath, but he keeps his cards really close to the vest. He doesn't necessarily know how to interact with people. He's been trained for one thing, and the challenge there was to make sure that all that's bubbling underneath, that it's all there, even in the way that he delivers it, the way that he speaks, so that then later on you start to, I think of it as valves. You release a little bit and you see a little bit more, and there's growth in a different way, so that it's like a real story, like a real human story, that, oh, right, that was there. Remember back to season 1 and we saw that reaction, and now look where he is. So it's truly a gift. It's a pleasure to collaborate on this character.
Sweet.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi, my question is also for David, and I feel like this is a good follow-up. I feel that this season, season 5, has been super huge for Todoroki's character development and just developing like relationships with his family and furthering his relationship with Deku and Bakugo. So how do you feel that Todoroki has changed as a character in season 5?
I think that he's learned, you know, when you go through, and you know, questions about this always get somewhat deep, so forgive me. But when you go through some type of trauma like that, no matter what it is, you know, large trauma, small trauma, you know, there's a tendency to go inside yourself, to live in your head a bit. I think that he lives in his head quite a bit. But I think we've seen him come out of that space a bit. I think we've seen him trust himself a bit more, not only as a hero in training, but in his interactions with his teammates and classmates. I think we've seen him, especially in season 5, like really express himself to his dad, really set some like kind of clear boundaries and say like, hey, this is what I'm here for. I think we've seen a confidence, and I think to connect it to World Heroes Mission, I think we see a little bit of that in the film as well. He's relying on some type of foundation that he feels is there now. So yeah, there's so many ways that he's grown. I think the family dynamic in season 5, you see how complicated it is, how there's can be anger and resentment and bitterness, and there's also love and connection and a passing down of talent and values, and it gets murky. And I think they do a great job of like just living in that human space. But I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, good afternoon or good morning, depending where you are right now. This show has such an international following and is dubbed in multiple languages. And it reminds me of a documentary entitled Being George Clooney, where they introduced all the international actors who dubbed him into their native tongue. Has there been a situation where you've met your counterpart from Japan and got to interact with them and see who they chose over there in comparison to who you are over here, and if there were similarities in your personalities to take on these roles?
I've slowly been hunting down everyone I've ever dubbed and everyone who's ever dubbed me, killing them and stealing their strength. It's what's led me to where I am at this point in my career, and I hope to continue to do so in the future.
So the goal is to be the Highlander, Robbie.
100%.
Yes.
Oh, he probably wanted a serious answer. So I do the jokey ones, and then you guys can do the serious.
I do the jokey ones.
You want the jokey ones? Too bad. You gotta be faster, brother. No, it's a pleasure. Come on. I mean, like, a character, nobody owns a character that they voice, whether they're the original or the dub. So I've said this before many times. Our job as actors, we have one job, and that is to be the paint that colors the character that has already been laid out and drawn for us. So that's my interpretation of it. And if you think of yourself as anything beyond that, you're too caught up in your own hype. So I just go into that booth right here that you can't see, and I do my very best to give the most honest performance in the moment that I can, and hopefully that translates in whatever language that you consume your media in. I hope for you that actor in that language is doing the same thing and giving you the best performance that they're capable of. See, I can give a serious answer.
Yeah.
I also would say that like it would be super cool to get to meet anybody who we get to share this stuff with, because it is a shared experience. Like we get to go on these journeys literally like in a parallel kind of universe almost, and to be able to like just have like, I would love to like grab dinner with like everybody that gets to like do the same character. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I second both of those answers. I agree with Robbie 100%. Like, you know, that's well said. That's our one job, and it's about like the truth and authenticity of the character and the story. And if you are into anything, you know, that's the end of the day, and that's what you have to be in love with doing to keep doing this. I will say I've not met my Japanese counterpart. I do think that we've shared some other roles. So I always find that interesting when that happens. I'll say this, I was recently in Miami and I got to meet the Spanish cast, the Spanish language cast for the Spanish actor for Todoroki, for Deku, for Bakugo, and for Ochako. And I'll make this short, but they were amazing, and it was such a connection that we had just because we were voicing these characters. But Clifford Chapin and I were able to go to one of their panels, and we sat backstage and watched their panel on a monitor. And, you know, they were asked, you know, similar questions to some of the questions we had been asked. And it was uncanny. And these are open-ended questions, like, you know, what really rooted you into the character? What was one of the most important moments that you know? And to see them answer with, like, if not the exact same moments, very similar themes, really, like, it was shocking how universal the story actually is. And I think that that's what makes, you know, I think that's why it has an impact, because there's something universal about it. So we were just really shocked and, you know, had big grins on our faces of like, oh my God, that's the same thing I say, you know? So, yeah, anyway.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Just want to say, first of all, I'm a huge fan of all three of you and your dog, Robbie. Love him in the background there.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome guest star.
Is that your dog?
Say it's a toilet paper tube with legs. Look at it.
So my question is for all three of you. I wanted to ask, it's going on year 5 or 6 of My Hero, the anime coming out, and it's had such a huge influence on its fans, on the anime landscape in general. You know, it's really made such a huge impact since its airing. And so I want to ask, you know, David, you've been there since day one, and Ryan and Robbie, you guys are running for this movie, and you're joining like this huge project. I want to ask, what is it like for all three of you being part of something so big? Did you guys, David, did you expect it to get as big as it is? Oh, sorry, as big as it is. And Ryan and Robbie, how is it for you guys being a part of this huge influential project?
Yeah, go ahead.
You've got all the skin in the game, man. You've got all the interesting answers. We have like 6 months worth of experience, if that. Or 6 weeks. You've got 6 years. When you auditioned for it, did you have an inkling? Did you know? Were you?
This is one of those auditions where I happened to be in person for it. Back when we did that, I guess. So there was this idea that it had the potential to be bigger than, I mean, I don't know what you compare it to, but that was in the room. There was that idea. But, you know, we all do this, and you audition for so many things, and you invest 100%, and then you let it go as best you can. And sometimes we let things go better than others. And sometimes, you know, so, you know, when I heard like there was that potential, you know, that sort of actor stake thing goes up, and I'm like, oh, let me, you know, and I read for a bunch of different roles. But honestly, the first season came out, and I thought they did a great job of laying like a really strong foundation of who Deku is and who All Might is, and that connection and that mentor-mentee relationship and father-son relationship. They really like, but I don't feel like it really gained steam until season 2 and the sports festival. And that's when like people locked in. I'm not saying it wasn't popular before, but that's when it really like sort of caught fire, or at least that was our experience. So you never know, you know, you always kind of go, hey man, I'm working on this at the time. It's awesome. I like this collaboration. I like this character. Hopefully it'll go somewhere. And then you're just grateful when it does. But to see what it's done, the impact it's had on people, and you know, 100 episodes plus now and 3 movies. It's just really a testament to, you know, the story, to Horikoshi, and the world that he's created, the characters he's created, and his team of people that help that keep going. So it's just, yeah, it's kind of amazing to see what it's done.
See, I knew you were the one to answer that. We newbies are enjoying it. I mean, it's massive. It's a huge property, and to be able to hop in late in the game like this and get to tell a contained story in this wonderfully produced movie, it's awesome. I mean, Ryan and I were talking earlier. We both are watchers of the show, fans of the show, and to have new roles like this that jump out, yeah, it's an honor.
Truly, yeah.
Yeah, apologies. There was a leaf blower that has finally showed up, as I knew they would. But I will say that, yeah, I called it. It's their quirk. It's an extraordinary honor. This has been my favorite show for a really long time, and the responsibility of joining a franchise that I love and I know is loved by so many. It was heavy in a really beautiful way, and I've been so inspired by David and everyone's performances through the years that it was a gift to be able to actually like share this now with them and be a small part of it, and yeah, it's an honor.
Hi all. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have left for today. Thank you so much for participating in this roundtable. We will send you all the information as soon as we have it available for you. Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, you guys.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
And now we sit here.
And now they pop the bubbles.
Goodbye, everyone.
I knew the leaf blowers were going to show up, man. I knew it.
One by one.
Leaf blowers, man.
But like, it was amazing because thankfully it worked where like you guys were able to answer the questions like in the thick of it, and I was like, thanks.
All David.
Where's the Tesla motor leaf blower? Like, where's the quiet leaf blower?
Seriously,
It's
so that
coming.
whoever has invented that is living in space at this point. They're so wealthy.
I don't care. Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, we have the tech. Maybe it's just too expensive to produce for a leaf blower.
It must be something that, like, I'm sure there are patents for those kinds of things that are,
anything mechanical is so tough to pull battery power on.
Right.
Yeah, it's so brutal.
Right.
Dudes, this was such a pleasure to do this with
Yeah.
you. You guys are both so damn good, and honestly, like, I've been enjoying your work forever, and it's so nice to enjoy you as humans equally so. So thank you for
Thanks,
being
Ryan. Flattery
wonderful.
will get you everywhere, buddy.
Yes.
Not
Rio, you guys kill it in the movie. Like, have you seen the screener? Did you guys watch it or no?
I haven't had a
watched it
chance.
the other
I'm
night.
waiting for the premiere. I want to watch it in the big screen.
I watched it and I was just, I mean, it's going to be exciting. I think people are going to love it, man. So, yeah.
Well, I've known you both online for a long time. David, I feel like you and I have met way back in the day on the circuit or something, but who knows?
I kind of feel that way too, man.
I'm surprised you haven't, honestly.
It's been a long time and in passing, but
agreed.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, what a pleasure, guys. I know you got a session to get to, right, David?
Yeah.
You guys get out of here. Seriously, it's a total pleasure.
All right, awesome, guys. Nice to talk to you. I'll see you later.
Catch you later. See you, buddy.